for your test tomorrow or next class period. So anyways, when we're looking at this, guys, I automatically see it's not on the unit circle. So I know I have to create a triangle. I just need to go ahead and determine where is this on the unit circle. All right, well, I know if this is pi halves. That's the wrong one for the wrong problem. She's not here right now today. Yeah.
It's pi.
Yeah, pi less than 2, less than 3.
Oh, OK. OK, right? All right. So still, we have to do the same thing. Here's our problem. We don't have the so if we know that this is pi halves, that's pi. That's 3 pi over 2. So therefore, our angle has to be in the third quadrant. So I draw an angle in the third quadrant, right? And remember, all of our triangles have to be exactly the same where we have this perpendicular side. And then our center angle, our angle has to be a central angle, u. So we're given cosecant, right? Remember, cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite. Well, our hypotenuse is never going to be negative, so that's going to be 5. That's negative 3. And that makes sense, right? The 3 would be negative because the sign is down. So now we need to determine this. Hopefully you guys know this is a Pythagorean triple. So it has to be 4. But since it's in the third quadrant, it has to be a negative 4. OK? So now what I'm going to do is to show you guys how to find the sine of our half angle. So if we're trying to do sine of u over 2, well, using that formula, that's going to be plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of u divided by 2. Now, here's where I didn't have time to get into this, but I want to make sure you go. This angle for sine, right, is positive or negative?
Yeah.
Is it positive or negative for sine? Negative. So therefore, instead of doing plus or minus, we're just going to be talking about the negative square root of it. All right? For cosine, when we do cosine, is it positive or negative for cosine? Negative. So it would be a negative square root. OK? So it's not always plus or minus. It depends on where the angle is. If the angle's in the first and second quadrant, then sine would be positive. If it's in the third and the fourth, the sine would be negative. All right? So now we just need to evaluate what cosine of u is. Well, cosine of u is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So therefore, we have negative 1 minus a negative 4 over 5. OK? Don't forget that cosine of u is negative 4 over 5, and it's minus a negative. And then that's over 2. So I can rewrite that as 1 plus 4 over 5 divided by 2. And again, we don't like 5 in the denominator, right? So we do the same thing over and over until you get really sick of doing these problems. You multiply by 5 over 5. Make sure you distribute. So therefore, you obtain 5 minus 4 all over 10. I don't know why minus. It's positive. Yeah, it's positive. Yeah, I don't know where negative came from. So now you add them. So now I'll simplify this over here. So it's negative the square root of 9 over 10. I'm not going to break up this fraction because I did that last time. But you guys can see that now I can simplify the numerator. So it's negative square root of 3 over 10. Right? And then I rationalize the denominator. And I get negative 3 square root of 10 over 10. And there you go. Done, son.